Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about massive news of how one of the largest payment providers in Africa is set to be built on Hedera and use Hedera, and we'll also be talking about stablecoin developments on Hedera's network. So before we talk about the main story today, I'd like to show you a clip featuring the co-founder of Hedera, Lehman Baird, going into detail and providing insights about the newly rolled out Hedera Stablecoin Studio development, which sees improvements in stablecoin usage on Hedera, and Baird goes into detail about how this development could impact a number of stakeholders who choose to use Hedera's network, including individuals, businesses, and even nations.
We absolutely, as an industry, need to make these things easy for users, easy for developers, easy for everyone. And so what I'd like to talk about today is one of the projects we did to make things easier. This is for stablecoins, and it's to make it easier for developers to create a stablecoin and to create software that does stablecoins. This software is called Stablecoin Studio. It's an SDK and some software and some example code and various pieces and components. An Oracle system plugs into it. It was developed by the people on the screen here, Hedera, Swirls Labs, HBAR Foundation, and IO Builders. Mainly have built it. It's open source. It's not any one company. It's just a group of people doing it. And there's actually a larger community of over 20 organizations that have contributed to it or are integrating it right now. So it actually has quite a bit of traction. And I want to talk to you about it as an example of how we as an industry can make things easier for people. Because this is clearly what we need to be doing. So this is built on Hedera. This particular one, and Hedera is blockchain DLT, a typical L1. It is the circle down there at the bottom is the validator nodes, and then we have the various services it offers on top of that. Of course, it has smart contracts. So these are just Solidity smart contracts, just very vanilla. They work very nicely. But you don't have to do everything in a smart contract. It also has native tokens. So you can create fungible tokens, you can create non-fungible tokens. You can actually do a fair amount of logic purely at the L1 layer without running any smart contracts. You can do minting and burning, you can do things like KYC and ensuring that it can't be moved without KYC. There's a lot of things you can do at the native layer. And then when you need more complicated logic, you use a smart contract and they work together. And so this is how Hedera works in general, and the idea of the Stablecoin Studio was to take advantage of this, to make it easy for you to use both the smart contracts and the token service and have them talk to each other and talk to oracles, which is another smart contract, to write the code, to have a GUI that you connected to, all of those pieces. And so what we did is we created this system to be taking advantage of all the different features of Hedera, and then to be easy to use. So what do we have? We wanted it to be easy to develop. This is what's important. We wrote this in TypeScript. So that means, it's JavaScript. You can run it in a browser. It's very usable. You can use it on an iPhone or something. You can run JavaScript in an iPhone, but you can also run it in a browser. It's kind of universal. Seemed like a good language to use. A lot of the people using us like to use things like TypeScript.
So as stated in the previous clip, Hedera's Stablecoin Studio development is mainly associated with improvements in stablecoin utilities, and this comes with a number of benefits in terms of improving the seamlessness surrounding the sending of funds in the form of stablecoins at faster, more cost-effective and at eco-friendly levels. So with Hedera being at the center of so many exciting initiatives, especially surrounding stablecoin utilities and use cases, a number of exciting developments have actually occurred on Hedera, including how Hedera has entered an exciting partnership with Flutterwave, where Flutterwave will bring near instantaneous and cost-effective payment systems and architecture across the overarching African marketplace. So an actual article was published going into detail about this association and partnership, where in an article entitled Flutterwave and Hedera's Integration of USDC, the article initially earmarked and highlighted to how this partnership will emerge and what this partnership will involve, where it's stated as to how the direct partnership between Flutterwave and Hedera is primarily geared towards the integration of the USDC stablecoin, which is native on Hedera, to Flutterwave's services and use cases and individuals who use Flutterwave services. So the article continued and stated as to how the main reason as to why Flutterwave is choosing to incorporate USDC into its protocol and framework is due to the abundant number of benefits USDC provides, most notably instantaneous, low-cost payments and improvements in remittances across the overarching African marketplace. And this will also go about improving the transaction capability, enhancing efficiency and improving the affordability of cross-border payments, again through the utility of USDC as provided by Hedera by the likes of Flutterwave services. So very exciting, and again it will go about improving the seamlessness and improving the transparency and efficiency associated with payments across the wider African marketplace, and also improving cross-border payment infrastructure. So the actual article continued and stated as to how, again, the direct integration of USDC into Flutterwave services will be not only beneficial for Flutterwave and for its users, but also for the overarching Hedera marketplace and network, especially the consensus and tokenization service, where in regards to Hedera's network, the utility of Hedera's network, this development and partnership will see improvements in the seamlessness and enhancements in the usage of Hedera's network. So this will go about improving the adoption and usage of Hedera, and this will see potentially increases to the demand for HBAR, where HBAR will be at the center of potentially verifying and actualizing transactions in the form of USDC payments in cases surrounding cross-border payments and payments across the overarching African marketplace. And furthermore, this will potentially see increases to the price of HBAR, especially over the long run, and as the utility of Hedera's network increases and the usage of USDC, which is native on Hedera, increase in conjunction. So very exciting, and again it goes to show the benefits Hedera's network can provide, especially in terms of stablecoin utilities in the form of USDC. So it will be interesting to see how USDC's Flutterwave utilities will impact Hedera and the wider African marketplace and further afield, and how this could impact the utility of Hedera's network and the price of HBAR and demand for HBAR, especially over the long run. So the announcement surrounding Flutterwave's integration of the USDC stablecoin through its partnership with Hedera was actually highlighted in a summit, in the African Tech Summit, which went into detail in regards to a number of exciting initiatives across the wider African marketplace, including the utility of DLT and, in extension, the partnership between Flutterwave and Hedera in conjunction with the usage of USDC. So the actual article continued and stated as to how this partnership is also a entrance for Flutterwave to roll out and acclimatize and incorporate other initiatives and potentially establish partnerships with renowned companies in fintech, payments, DeFi, startups, and various crypto and Web3 related platforms. So with a broad range of potential partnerships Flutterwave could be at the center of, this is extremely exciting and bullish, and it goes to show how DeFi and the DLT realm as a whole is becoming more widely integrated into payment infrastructures around the world, including, in this example, the African marketplace. So very exciting, and it will be interesting to see how these developments play out and whether Flutterwave's use cases become more heavily incorporated and integrated into more applications across the DLT realm, and how this could impact the wider African marketplace and furthermore Hedera's architecture and utilities. So all around very exciting, and again, it will be interesting to see how these developments play out. And furthermore, the article came to conclusion and actually stated as to how the direct collaboration between Flutterwave and Hedera will again see the direct integration of USDC, and this will pave a way for enhancements to financial inclusivity, cross-border payment transactions, and increasing the adoption of DLT and blockchain technology across the wider African marketplace and beyond. So with the potential improvements in the seamlessness and the potential rolling out of DLT and blockchain across the African marketplace, this will again improve the seamlessness and the efficiency surrounding cross-border payments and financial inclusivity for Africans who are choosing to use Flutterwave services and, in extension, USDC and Hedera's network. So very exciting, and again we'll see how this development plays out and whether Hedera will become more heavily integrated and utilized for further initiatives across the African marketplace. So with Flutterwave set to use Hedera's network for an extremely exciting and potentially prestigious development, I thought we'd have a look at the figures and the statistics and characteristics of Flutterwave's network and use cases, where Flutterwave's payment system verifies over 500,000 payments on a daily basis, and over 20 million API calls are registered on Flutterwave services. So with a direct integration of Hedera's network into Flutterwave services, most notably USDC, these figures and other use cases surrounding Flutterwave's network and framework could be incorporated and put into conjunction and utilized by Hedera's network. So potentially millions of transactions, further millions of transactions could be validated and authorized on Hedera, and this is in conjunction with Hedera already being the most widely utilized network on the marketplace, where the network has actually surpassed over 20 billion transactions on its mainnet. And this all goes back to the number of exciting developments and initiatives Hedera is at the center of, especially how Hedera's governing council members, Shinhan Bank and Standard Bank, have actually harnessed Hedera's Stablecoin Studio infrastructure and Hedera's tokenization engine platform, where these two banks have actually taken on the benefits of Hedera's platform in terms of cross-border payments for stablecoin utilities and tokenization activities, where these developments in conjunction have actually led to Hedera bypassing and surpassing 20 billion transactions on its mainnet since its inception. So very exciting, and again it goes to show how widely acclaimed and how highly utilized Hedera's network is in terms of broad-scale utilities, and how again this adds to another use case surrounding Hedera's stablecoin infrastructure, and it indicates how Hedera is becoming more widely acclimatized and integrated into financial sectors around the world. So Carmel Cadet, the CEO of the cbdc platform MTech, have actually highlighted to the recent Flutterwave integration of Hedera's stablecoin utilities, and this could potentially pave a way for CBDC developments, where a number of nations around the world are looking to roll out CBDCs in the near future. So with the integration of stablecoins into the wider African marketplace by Flutterwave, this could be a precursor to CBDC integration and the rolling out of CBDCs across the wider marketplace in Africa, including most notably Ghana, where MTech have actually worked in conjunction with the Bank of Ghana to design and develop a CBDC across the Ghanaian marketplace. So the Ghanaian marketplace will again use MTech's infrastructure, which is built on Hedera. So this factor will see the indirect utility of Hedera's network for stablecoin usage and, in extension, CBDC framework and architecture. So all around very exciting, and again it will be interesting to see how these developments play out and whether Hedera's infrastructure will be more heavily integrated into further infrastructures, especially across the financial realm, for years to come, and how this could impact the demand for HBAR and, in extension, the price of HBAR in the foreseeable future and over the long run. So another story I'd like to talk about is how the Hedera Governing Council members have decided to update the committee policy regarding financial decision making. Now Hedera can't spend any money without the approval of the Governing Council members. So with the Governing Council members now playing a key role in how the Hedera team and the Hedera network spend their funds, I think this will be quite beneficial, and it will bring a lot more transparency about how the network and the Hedera team as a whole spend their funds. So with a number of highly accredited and highly esteemed organizations being backed and being part of the Hedera Governing Council, this development could be quite significant. So again, time will tell about how the Hedera team do choose to spend their funds and how the Hedera Governing Council members impact and decide how these funds are spent. So as I mentioned, the CBDC platform MTech have actually partnered with the Bank of Ghana to launch the ECEDI hackathon event, and an extension the potential rolling out of a Ghanaian CBDC. And again, these developments will be underpinned and backed by Hedera's infrastructure and network. So this all goes back to another exciting development surrounding stablecoin utilities and settlement procedures using the USDC stablecoin, where the Hedera-backed governing council member WorldPay, which is a subsidiary organization of FIS, have actually aligned their services with the largest payment providers in the world, Visa and MasterCard, to design and implement and roll out a stablecoin platform which will be underpinned by the USDC stablecoin, which will be provided and authorized and validated by the Hedera network. So with the potential utility, the definitive utility of Hedera's network for stablecoin use cases by both Visa and MasterCard, this again shows how Hedera is becoming more heavily integrated into the financial sector, and it's even more exciting that both of these organizations are choosing to harness Hedera's network, and how this could impact the utility of Hedera as a whole, where Visa and MasterCard, as I mentioned previously, are the most widely utilized payment providers in the world. So with potentially millions, if not billions of transactions potentially being earmarked and validated through stablecoin usage, these actions will be potentially authorized and validated by Hedera, and this will have reverberating effects on the price of HBAR, especially over the long run. And as more of these organizations choose to harness the benefits of Hedera's stablecoin and tokenization engine. So very exciting, and we'll see how these developments play out and how this could impact a number of stakeholders across the overarching marketplace. What are your thoughts on Hedera? Are you bullish on the Flutter wave using Hedera's network? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching Crypto Clan. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.